Okay, so let's jump in and start off our data analysis. We're going to go to transaction SE16. Through the menu path, you can get to the same spot by going to Tools, ABAP Workbench, Overview, and SE16. Okay, so this is the data browser, and there's two versions of the data browser, SE16 and SE16N. We'll go through both so you're familiar. They do roughly the same functions. So SE16N, N for new, is the newer version, and it's actually also the version that I prefer, and I believe most people do as well. But you should see both. So this was the original data browser, and you can go in here and display table contents using this button. So let's go ahead and go in and look at VBAK, and we'll give you an overview of this. Okay, so it's kind of building our selection screen right now. And what we have then here up at the top are some menu paths that we can use. You can run this program and see the table contents. You can always run in the background too if you're doing a large selection. Then we can go through some select option changes. We'll come back and look at this in more detail. Variants. Again, here you can set up different variants. So if you have common selections that you run frequently, it's great to set up a variant for it so you don't have to repeat entering all the selection criteria each time. We'll come back and go through that. And then settings, okay, so you can format the list. You can, this is important here, choose your output fields. So here basically everything's checked, so all however many hundreds of fields there are going to appear in our output. If there's columns, different fields that you don't care about, you could always remove that check so they don't appear in the output then. Okay. Also under settings, user parameters, you might come in here and just change the look and feel of what you want to see on your output. As far as like the width of the output or how many hits you want to get, records, that's basically records returned. One thing I use quite a bit is you can switch back and forth between field label and field name if you want to see the description versus the actual field name on it. Okay, and then finally under settings, we have the fields for selection. This fields for selection is going to determine the selection fields that you see here on the left side. You can see I have, sales document selected, so it appears here. Created on, so it appears here, and so on and so on. For instance, I have sales document type selected. Okay, and we see sales document type selected there. I'll go ahead and take that check off, accept that, and then we'll see that the sales document selection criteria will go away. Okay, so now why this is helpful, depending on the type of analysis you're doing, you may want to have different selection criteria to filter your results. It's not going to be across the board. You obviously probably don't want all selections on there. There you can see the sales document type went away. But if I'm doing some sort of analysis on delivery blocks, I may want to have that in the selection criteria, versus if I'm doing some analysis on a particular document category or date range, I may want to have that in the selection criteria. Okay, and that'll build your select options. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put in our sales document up here, 14480. And I just want to run a selection on that. Okay, so I'm looking now at the field contents for the sales order header table for that document number. And we see some of the same things that we would have seen on the sales order overview, but now I'm seeing it more in the columnar format here, which is helpful for analysis and reporting. Up here, a few of the useful functions are these right and left arrows. So you know that we have many fields, so it's a quick way to scroll through some of the hidden fields that were not showing up on the screen. I can click on the last column and immediately go over to the far right. Okay, so you get an idea of what the overview is here. Let's green arrow back here. Okay, so that's kind of SE16. Wanted you to get a quick look at the SE16. Now normally I use SE16 in for the most part. If you don't have access to XE16 in, then you come in and use SE16. But you'll be able to do similar type analysis with either one. Okay, so let's go take a look at SE16 in now.